Right. Oh, by the way, that just reminded me, I need to unmute my desktop and mic audio. That would have been really bad. There we go. Now let's put OBS all the way up. I gotta rename it real quick because it's like an art request stream for the other one. Blender model tutorial with Somber. I'm covered in rats yet again.
Yet again.
There we go. The rats. That's always the description no matter what. It's I'm covered in rats.
I love rats though.
Alright, so once again to reiterate, a lot of this will just be me showing you rather than like talking about it because I'm really bad at explaining.
I didn't mean to do that.
So usually, for me at least, what you'd want to start off with is a cube because it's very low poly, and so for the cube, usually I start with the head of the model. Some people start with the body, some people start with the clothing. It's weird, I know. But the way that I do heads, specifically for this kind of way of doing it, you could also use it for other versions as well, but for like non-furry, I usually do one subdivision at first, put mirror, and then you use the loop cut tool to cut the center of it. You use the topple X-ray, aka this little thing with the two squares, and then you delete vertices. Also, if you want the sorry, when you have X-ray toggled and you want the object to not disappear, just go here, click on opacity, and it will immediately put it to full opacity. Hold up, I gotta recenter this real quick.
Dude, I'm watching on Xbox and this is miserable because I have like 5 total pixels on my screen right now.
Don't worry, it's recording on the stream. If you want to look at the Twitch
Okay.
stream, you can. I could just send you the link so that it's a little easier for you.
Actually, that'll be so much easier than watching the Discord stream.
I got you. Give me a second. Let me send this to you. And I'm not gonna like advertise
I
it
have
because
Twitch
this is...
on Xbox, so what's the name?
Here, I'll just, it's called Scribble Patch. That's my username. I'm pretty sure that it should just pop up. I'll wait for you to do that before I continue.
Man, think about Xbox makes me think about my Xbox.
Which is broken. Sad
Which is
days.
broken. Yep. Oh, I can't play Minecraft.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Cooper, be nice.
So many memories. Yeah.
Follow.
I mean, I do have Minecraft.
All
but,
right.
like, Xbox Minecraft, my beloved.
Oh, really though?
Bro, I need to grab the video of Prototype Cooper back when he was still a work in progress for the silly PNG tuber. He was just a little little sketch. But yeah,
we let
Wee
that
little
be.
sketchy.
so I'm gonna redo that step since you said you were struggling with internet shit. So
I saw most of it. It's just, it was incredibly moldy, so I couldn't read text.
makes sense. And so usually what I do, like,
Why are there two of me?
some people can there's on top it shows like the usernames that belong to each person. It's basically like what you should call them kind of thing. Speaking of which, I should probably change yours.
That is a villain laugh. Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, that's arbiter.
Evil.
You ain't heard
Him laugh.
nothing.
That's your villain laugh.
But yeah, so you know, everyone does it differently. Everyone can like do whatever they want. Sometimes I just kind of go until it looks like a face, but usually what I do is I then like kind of like cut it across, and then I take the bottom part and I line it up with. Oh, also again, never forget this. Mirror always goes above subdivision. It will fuck up and it'll look weird without it. Also, don't forget, if you want the item to, like, you know, be stuck to each other to be fused, especially when you convert it to mesh or when you apply, it will stick there. But if you want it to be like, let's say you're making pants and you only want one part of it to be like that, so then you take this and then you take that and then you like do this. That way when you do like the pant part, it won't get stuck on it kind of shit. But yeah, so what I usually do is I, of course, don't forget clipping. I line up the bottom part of it with the chin, and then I grab the part next to it and kind of line that up as well, and then I take that down. I take this part and I try to put it to the top of the head, and there. And so it might take a little bit more editing. You might have to add just a few more little cuts here and there, depending on how well it will line up.
Yeah.
But you just need
How
to.
do you get it to be those lines?
Oh, what do you mean?
Hey, like I see you grabbing those. Like,
Oh,
lines
so you
off
click
to the
tab.
side.
So you click tab and it will go into edit mode, but you can also just go to object mode and then go to edit mode.
Yeah. But
So,
whenever I've
you
done
mean
stuff,
like-
I don't see those. Oh, that's because of subdivision, right?
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
so
I'm
like
seeing that.
with this, okay, so this is what it looks like without subdivision.
Oh
Without
God.
subdivision.
Oh, weird.
This is what it looks like with subdivision. So the reason why you see these little squares is because those are the faces. Those are what it looks like when you know, it'll add faces to it. So then, like when I'm happy with how the front looks from front facing, because it will look different on the side, I cut the middle of it, and then I try to just kind of adjust it to see how I would feel the, or if they have a side view, obviously, then you go based off of that. I will say one thing, refs aren't always perfect. Like, you can do your best to make it as perfect and lined up as possible, but a majority of the time you will have to stylize or mess with it a bit in order to get the side view to look right while also keeping the front view accurate. So sometimes you will have to mess with it and have a little bit of fun, depending on what your definition of fun is. The reason why I go to one subdivision instead of two immediately is because usually when I'm doing this, I want to keep it low poly relatively, because it is for VR chat. I have to optimize it in some way. So the reason why is because I will be cutting out the eye holes and the mouth. And doing that, I will have to have a little more polygons when I'm actually messing with it. Well, actually, no. Okay. So what I do is I have to do it low poly at first, and then I go, I'll just show you as I'm doing. It's a lot easier to show you than it is to explain it, because it's like, it's insane to talk about. So for this, for the back of the head, I grab this, and then I click smooth vertices until I'm a little more happy with how it looks. Take this front up, move this a little forward, and move this a little back, kind of smooth it out a bit. You also have to make sure that you're looking at it at multiple angles while you're doing it. Otherwise, just because it looks good on one side doesn't mean that it's going to look good on every side, you know?
Yeah.
And it's going to look... every single modeling, like every single model has an awkward phase. I will say that. It will always look ugly before it looks good. So you have to trust the process. Yes, you are allowed to like start over. You are allowed to like, you know, change it a bit. One of the things that I do that a lot of avatar creators that I've noticed don't tend to do is that a majority of them do everything with just like edit mode. I personally mess around in edit mode until I'm happy with how it is in the moment, and then I go into sculpt mode to make it exactly what I want, like to mess with the proportions. Never, I will say, never rely on sculpt mode. That is one of the
That's what
biggest
I've been
sins. Don't rely on sculpt mode. If you want to make a sculpture or a 3D printable object, you can rely on sculpt mode all you want. But if it's a VR chat avatar, yeah, no. I'm sorry.
The first tutorial I saw, it's like, oh, if you want to make something basic and vaguely humanoid, here, just start with a couple UV spheres and
Oh,
sculpt them
God.
into what you want. And then remesh them once you have the vague shape down. And then I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah. Another thing, now that we have this, you can, you see how it's all bumpy and stuff? You can go to Shade
Yeah.
Smooth. It will look a little better. You can go to Shade Auto Smooth, which will make it, you know, a little more angular. You can also go to, let's say, Normals, click Auto Smooth, and then you can go to where you like it. That's also really good when you figure out how to use sharp edges. So I'm going to redo the mirror tool. Yes, I know it's a little counterproductive. So I'm going to take this, I'm gonna click mark seam, and then you go here. Also, another thing. So the way that I was able to grab that entire line rather than having to select it is you click Alt.
Line mode.
No. You click Alt,
No.
and then you click, and boom. It selects it.
Oh.
Mark seam, and then you go to select mode. You press L, and it will select anything that is, so as long as the seam is closed, it will select that entire area. Like, let's say that I selected this, but I forgot to select these parts. It would select the entirety of it. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that no matter what, it's always closed. So we're going to delete those faces again, and then we're going to put mirror tool on it, and then we're going to put subdivision. And now...
How did you change it from, like, the big lines to, like, shape the entire thing to the small lines that line up with the actual polygons?
What do you mean?
Like, before, when you were getting the general shape of the head down, there was, like, the big lines that were off to the side because they weren't, like...
Oh, so you're talking... Okay, so... That's how it works. So let's see this. See? These lines are the sides of the faces. Once we
Yeah.
go into subdivision, this is not accurate to what the actual poly count is. It's just messing with it while it's there. But as soon as you apply, apply it, all of a sudden, all the faces are there.
So when you click apply, then it compacts itself, and then it looks right. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's why you gotta learn how to kind of relatively get it. I personally cut out my eyes. Some people do different things, but this is how I do it. I am going to quickly make sure. So this is where the nose is. So I'm going to keep a mental note on that. So this is where the nose is. This is where the ridge is going to be. So the eyes will be around here. So we're going to do this. And I'm going to go a little off of the ref because I realized that that was a little wrong. So I'm going to try and do this. And cut out the shape of the eye. And then it's a little wonky.
I could never figure out how to actually use that tool.
So the way that you use the knife tool is, so let me grab another example real quick. So let's take this for example, and let's quickly subdivide this. And let's say you want to make a little eye. So you take this, you click on this, and you just keep clicking until you're happy with it, and then you press space, and the cut will be made. Space.
Okay.
I will say it is a little harder when it comes to higher poly. So here, let me show you. Let me get rid of this. Let me backspace this. Let me subdivide this. Let's go to 2. It will get a little harder as there's more polys because it will immediately like select onto / lock onto the faces and different parts of it. So it's a little more difficult when trying to be a little more like subjective.
Oh, yeah, because it'll try to lock on. I see that now.
Also, another warning is that when you're since it isn't accurately depicting how many polygons are here, and you try to do this, and then you let's say this.
Before applying the subdivide.
And then you delete this, it will show up like this. So what you need to do in order to fix that, which sometimes will mess up with the polys, but it will work occasionally, is that you need to find the places that it's anchoring towards and then just cut and make it fit.
But that... Okay. But that's not a problem if you just apply it first, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
So let me mark the seam, and as shown before, L, delete, it's there. There we go. I personally tend to mess with it while it's in subdivide because it makes it a little smoother occasionally. Because, you know, more polygons means more I can play with. You just need to figure out where you're supposed to go.
Like fix that kinda? Are you just making a single line of cut?
It's I cut wherever it will help to balance it. Like see
So,
how this little crevice
when you make a
has
single line of cut, it just makes a new
Face.
like line. Yeah. But when you make a full circle, it completely like removes those along the new vertices you marked out with the cut.
I'm trying to process that. Give me a second. So it's a little hard to explain because okay, so let's say do you see this? There is no face. This is all one face with only one little
Yeah.
segment. So let's say that this part I had not cut out. The reason why it was folding in on itself was because those polygons were trying to find somewhere. This is the best way I can describe it. This is not exactly like accurate. We're trying to find somewhere that it could clump to because it didn't have a correct face. So if I were to do this, boom, that little part is smoother. It is now a full face.
Okay. So
Makes
you want to
sense.
make sure every stray vertice has its own face, yeah?
Yes, you don't have to make sure that every single one of them will. It makes
look
everything a
better,
little
though.
easier and it will look better, yes.
Okay.
And so, just real quick, gonna fix these up a little bit. There we go. And now I'm going to find where I should put the mouth. So let's remember, the nose is right here. So the mouth can be around here.
Do you model out the nose, or do you just leave it that little nub?
Occasionally I will. It depends on the model.
The aesthetic.
Yes, it depends on what they want. And so for this, I will make a small nub, but I'm not going to make a full nose based upon the refs that they have given me. I was
Okay.
under the impression that it was like a goat nose at first, but then from the side, it looks more like a human nose. Because in the original ref, it looks like a dog nose, right? Like a little, like animal nose. But apparently it's supposed to be more humanoid. So I had to make sure to communicate with the client on that. Like, hey, blah, 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 blah. How do I do this? Kind of thing.
Okay. So you're currently working on a commission?
Mm-hmm. This is a commission.
Interesting.
This is from Toasty VA. Sorry about my voice. When I talk for prolonged amounts of time, my voice gets a little strained.
That's fine. You don't have to say sorry.
Give me a second.
Ugh.
It's completely understanding. Talking for prolonged amounts of time fucking sucks.
Exactly what he said.
And so, with this, I'm going to apply- oh, that's not what I meant to do. Whoops. I'm going to apply the subdivision, but not the mirror quite yet. Hold on. Give me a second. Excuse me. Actually, no, I have to apply both of them, otherwise it's gonna be weird. So, once again, I know I keep on yanking the chain, but I am going to delete this and do the mirror. And that specifically so I can do the eyes symmetrically. The mouth, not so much. The mouth is a lot easier when you do it when it's already converted.
So what you did was deleted one half of the face and then just mirrored it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, another thing, just a heads up. So, also ignore this. I will be sculpting this better. So you see that little yellow spot right there?
Yeah.
That is the center of the object. That is what the that is the transform of the object. So let's say
right there.
So let's say that so for every single model, you would want to after everything is done, you would want to apply all transforms. However, you have to be careful when you apply transforms because when you apply transforms and you have mirror tool on, it tends to hold up. So depending on what the object is, it will give me a second. I have to turn off. Okay, clipping is already off. So if it's at the center of the world, which this little thing right here, the cursor, this little red circle, that is the center. And so you want to keep that in the center of the axis. Give me a second. In the center of the X and Y axis. You have to keep it there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will completely fuck up the model. So that is where
Lord.
your cursor will go. Also, when it goes down there, your object will be like this. So when you want to rotate, it will do this rather than when you have it up here, where you will be able to do it like that. So it can make it a little harder to edit.
Oh.
It's a lot to take in, I know.
Yeah, how exactly, sorry, how exactly do you, like, keep it in the middle or know when it's in the middle? Because I see you switching from, a plain background to, background with, yeah, that.
So this is the image. This is an image that I've added in there. This is how it is
Yeah.
normally. So this right here, let me. This should always be between the green and the red in the center.
Mhm.
And also the blue, which is the that is the Z
Up and down.
axis. Hmm.
Oh.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Also, another
Uh,
thing, a little tip for eyelashes. Like if you like even just like not even just like girly eyelashes or something, just to like have a little rim around the eye, you're going to want to extrude, not too much, depending on how far the face is. Extrude, move a little forward, extrude, and then there. And so when you
Oh.
use black, it will have.
So you extrude it like a millimeter.
Mm-hmm. And since they have like eyeliner, I forgot to show that in the ref. I have to kind of mess with it a bit to get it to look a little more like this. There we go. And there. I will say, so another thing that's very important. So you see this up here, right? Show overlays.
Yeah.
This little circle thing. You click on here, go to face orientation. Anything that is red will be seen as inverted or see-through in VR chat. So anything that is red will be seen as see-through. If it's blue, then that means that it is not inverted. So the way to fix inversion, so let's say that I accidentally modeled the eyelashes and they turned out to be inverted. So what you would want to do is you would click on this and go to flip. That would flip the flip the faces. However, let's say you were extruding and something was a little iffy, and so you got this kind of thing. So you select those parts, and then you click recalculate outside. Not outside. Recalculate inside.
Oh.
And
Oh.
there.
Okay.
Because the first model I attempted to make, his name is Ron. I don't remember why. Ask Shotgun Skull. But whenever I uploaded him the first time, every single one of his normals was inverted, and I don't remember how I fixed it. Wait, no, I think I fixed it by remeshing.
Yeah, usually remeshing isn't used commonly in VR chat models because
Yeah.
it tends to mess up the polygons.
It kind of makes it look a little bad.
Yeah, remeshing usually like adds to the polygon count like tremendously too. It's usually used for 3D sculpting, like 3D printables and like just normal 3D art or game models, depending.
Mm. Okay, and now you're using sculpt mode to just kind of like refine the little details a little further.
Mm-hmm. So let me fix this a bit. It will be a little easier once I actually convert this to mesh and then not have to deal with the mirror tool messing with it. Another thing, use X and it will be on both sides. That way it's even.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I will warn you.
Like mirror on X, I remember doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I will warn you, after sculpting, a lot of the time it will mess with the weight painting, so it might make it a little harder because it won't be symmetrical. So depending on what you do and what like kind of like object you have, you will either A, have to weight it like you won't be able to use the X, aka the mirror tool, while waiting, so you'll have to do it yourself manually. Or if it is symmetrical, you could just click on the center of it, delete half of it, and then use the mirror tool and then weight it then. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I remember every single thing I did, it had X symmetry on it, and until I was doing the skeleton, because for some reason the skeleton was really buggy. So I just like calculated the exact coordinate position of where they should be and then put them there.
I
bone by
personally, I use a pre-made armature that either I
do
made
too.
for a model. No. The thing is, like, it's for specifically a VR chat model.
Yeah, I do too.
You do? Let me guess. You use the, give me a second. You go here, and then you use the armature, pre-made one for the MMD model, I'm pretty sure.
No,
Not
it
that
was
one.
something I downloaded off Google. It was an armature, and then I had to line up the bones.
Here, let me show you what a normal armature should look like. Let me go to my recent model. Let's go here. Let me put it back to the normal. So let me hide the fizz bones real quick because these are not how it normally looks. So let me hide all those real quick. No, stop doing that. There we go. Give me a second. Let's do that. And then let's hide the tailbone as well. And then hide the... There we go. There should be like toe bones, I will say. A lot of VR chat models still have the toe bones, but they're not required.
You had toe bones. Yeah, I remember.
So-
I saw the toe bones. I'm like, I don't need these toe bones.
So,
And then I got rid of them.
so this is what a normal VR chat model will look like
Yeah.
bone like armature will look like.
Yeah, I know. The only problem
Okay,
I had
good.
was the fingers, because for some reason they were horribly screwed up.
So you're supposed to have you can technically only have 4 fingers on VR chat. I'm pretty sure either that or you. So what you can do is you can have all of these, and let's say your avatar only has like 2 fingers. Like, oh, I could pull out jingles for this actually. Give me a second. Let's go here.
The problem I
there.
had with the fingers is that each finger had an extra finger bone.
Oh, you
So they
had
were
the
4-bone
ends. Oh, that's the wrong
fingers.
one. Give me a second.
Yeah.
So you had the end bones. Those are really annoying. I don't know why they happen personally.
I don't know either.
Base
But no,
models,
I
okay.
have the whole skeleton thing figured out. It was really annoying though.
Here it is. Here's the updated base model. So, what you can do to have, like, let's say your character only has, like, 3 fingers, like mine, you can technically do this as well, but if you want it to still be able to, like, let's say you have, like, 4 fingers, yeah, if you want, like, hand tracking or shit like that to work, usually you just have the finger bones still here, and you'd assign them manually in Unity, but you'd only weight the ones that
And
you
get rid of
specifically
all their
wanted.
weight things. Yeah.
Hold up, let me go here. Boop. There we go. So back to this. So for the mouth, I am going to quickly make the inner part of it. Oh, whoops. Also another thing, when you have the mirror tool on, it can sometimes mess with the mesh like this. So I extruded, this is what it looks like. If you turn it off, boom, it's normal again. It usually does that with things that aren't being like when you grab the full thing rather than, let's say, let me grab this, it'll do this, but if I grab the full thing, it'll mess with it once I extrude and move it. I don't know why it does
Weird.
that, but it just does that. Blender's a nightmare. And so also another thing, when you want to remove a seam like this, because it will duplicate once you're like extruding, you just go clear seam, boom, it's gone. Also, another thing, I wanted to show you this. So let's say you want the rest of the face to be really smooth, but you want the eyelashes to be very, like, to be there, like as if it's like shaded auto smooth. So you go, so you select it, and then you click mark as sharp, and it usually, hold on, let me select these as well, mark as sharp. It will be covered by the seam itself because the red will be over the blue, but usually it'll keep it sharp, even if you go all the way to smooth.
Interesting.
But yeah, also another thing, this is just like for lip sync itself, which I will say, I highly recommend downloading the Cat's Blender plugin. That is very useful for VR chat models because it
I've
will
heard it highly
generate.
recommended.
It will help you to generate the lip sync. So let's go over to YN again. Give me a second. Let's go to Astro. Let's go here, and let's delete his lip sync real quick so that I could give you an example of this. Let's delete this. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Ugh, there we go. So he has. So all you have to do is you have to make the A, O, and CH, aka ch. And so you go here, you select what mesh you are using, which this is called the face. Mine is the one I'm using. You go to create visemes, and it will generate the lip sync keys based off of your A, O, C, and CH keys. Pretty neat, huh?
All the things I made never had mouths, so I have no clue what you're doing.
It's mostly for if you want to make something with a mouth.
Okay.
So this is just like, I'm showing this because Bunnies also wants to learn, and I'm pretty sure they have characters that have mouths. So for lip sync for this, so what we want is we want the main thing on this to be closed. We want the mouth to be closed by default. So I'm going to quickly do this as a shape key so that if I mess up, I can just redo it. So let me turn off face orientation so that I can properly see things. And since I want to keep that snarky little face as well with it. So let's see. Let's mess with it a little bit. A second. Gotta turn down the strength on this so that I could properly do this.
So how do shape keys work?
So shape keys, the way that you use them is, so we have the basis. That is how your mouth or whatever object is going to be. That's how it's going to be by default. So with each key, it will change. So with shape keys, you add one, and then anything that you do on it will be considered a shape key. So let's say I do a joke toggle, like this. This will not be on by default. You have to toggle it on, kind of thing.
Okay.
And I'll show you how to do the
shape
Unity.
keys affect VR chat?
So shape keys are usually how you use, you can use them for facial expressions, you can use them for lip sync, you can use them for animations, technically. You can use them for like a lot of things. They're very important if you want to add like dynamic or fun things to your avatars, but they're not required. So, let's say, here, let me show my Unity real quick. This won't show up on stream, so I will say this. I'm not gonna, go to it on stream, so you won't be able to see it, etc, etc. So I'm gonna show this on Discord. So...
Oh, do I have to go back to Discord now?
I can show this on stream, give me a second. Let me add Unity on here. Nope, that's browser, give me a second. Window capture, Unity. I'm gonna make sure that nothing else is open. Oh! Unity. There we go. Okay. So, like in here, the way that I do it is I use VRC Fury, which is a very useful tool.
I have VRC Theory. It's great.
Yes.
I use it for toggles.
So I use it for small like facial expressions as well as toggles for like you could use blend shapes and toggles. You can like with sorry, my throat's hurting. Like with the shirt. With the shirt, I have a specific blend shape that helps avoid clipping. So that whenever you move, it won't clip. So the blend shape that I use for clipping is this. It looks kooky. It looks very stupid. But when the shirt is on, it makes sure that when you're moving, the chest does not peek through the shirt. And so the way that I do that is with VRC Fury. I put the toggle in, I put turn on, make sure that it's always on, turn on. Never turn off, because that will mean that it will turn off, it will turn on the shape key or whatever you're doing to try and turn off, instead of, you know, having it on while the object is there. It's weird. I don't know.
So, hold on. What I'm seeing is whenever the shirt is like enabled, you can see the shirt. The chest uses a shape key to shrink to avoid clipping.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how shape keys can also be used, is to avoid clipping errors. So if you have like clothing or an object, you can use a shape key in order to change the mesh itself, as well as the parts that are clipping. So you can use that while it's on. The way that I keep the shirt on by default, as well as when you turn it on, it'll stay on, is for like, this is for normal like toggles as well. Like, let's say you have the tail and you want it to stay off when you leave the world. You go save between worlds. And then for it to be on by default, you just go to default on, and that will have it on by default. Pretty easy.
I know how to use VFD Fury. I've done it before.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's really simple. But yeah. Excuse me. I don't know why my throat is hurting like this. Okay, let's go to... Oh wait, I forgot to put Unity down. There we go. So there we go. Let's go back to Blender. And so we're gonna have this be closed. So we're going to put this as the basis now. And so I will say it's sad that you can't do this, but even if you have like a shape key from before when it was open, it will not open normally a lot of the time. A lot of the time it will glitch, so you'll have to I don't know why that did that. You will have to manually open the lips. Only issue is that sometimes, like this, let me just fix that real quick, there will be small like clipping errors, which you can just go into editing mode, find what's clipping, and then click smooth, and it will usually fix it. Really depends on the thing. You also have to make sure to look at it from the side. Yep, like that. Hold it. Like that, it can mess up sometimes. You have to like mess with it until it looks good on both sides. Hold up, I'm gonna move.
Oh lord, yeah, no, sculpt mode can be very fickle.
Mm-hmm. Gonna move this. Edit mode isn't as easy when it comes to like delicate operations like this at times. It can be really annoying to just kind of mess with. So you have to like kind of go between both of them to make it look right.
Yeah.
So mess with this a little bit. Now let's look at it from the side again. Let's move it. Let's move it down a little bit. There we go. Looks much better. Another thing that I like to do personally is that, you know, like those little like black dots at the like the corners of the mouth, like how do I explain that? Like that. You see the little like little line there?
Yeah.
Sometimes it could be really nice to like make it yourself. So you go to the cube, you go into edit mode, and then you drag it upward. You use mirror tool, because if you have the object itself and you have mirror tool, it will mirror it as long as the center of it is in the center of the world, quote unquote world.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm gonna get some water real quick.
Thanks, Susan. Alright.
Rats, where are the
Yeah, the
rats?
rat. Celebrating yet another birthday batch. Michael, it's your birthday today. Cake and ice cream is on its way.
Cooper, are you okay?
The
Huh?
rats, we're the
We're
rats.
the rats.
Alright, so we
We
take...
hunt at night, we stalk at
What
night.
did you say?
We're
Bunny?
the rats.
What are we talking about again?
No clue. So then you drag these little parts, and I usually tend to pinch this side of it and then move it inward. And then if you want to like mess with it a little more, you could add like a cut, and then let's quickly do this. Move that. Hold up. Is the opacity on? No, it's not. It's just messing with me again. And then we move this to make it a little rounder. Make it a little smaller. So that... And then we just move this inward. This. There you go. Boom. I can also
Wham.
kind of mess with it a little bit since it is supposed to be a little longer. The only like issue with this is that if you do it wrong, it'll mess with the lip sync. That's it.
Oh.
But it's usually just you need to edit it to fit with the lip sync rather than, you know, being too worried about it. So, also, this is very important. You select these and press H and it will hide it. You press Alt-H and it will bring it back. It's really useful for weighting, for weight painting, as well as for when you want to edit something, but you don't want to edit that specific part of it.
Whenever I would get something out of the way, I'd just click the eyeball button at the top right for that specific object.
Well, the thing is, these are put together.
What do you mean?
These are on the same mesh. See?
How do you do that?
So what you do, let me remove this. So what you do is you click this, and then you shift and click the object, and you press join. And they're the same mesh now.
And you can manipulate them individually?
Mm-hmm. Since they're not merged together, so let's say we wanted to merge them. So let's do this and merge by distance. We have to make sure that at least one of them is lined up with something. Merge by distance. Oh, give me a second. You know what? I'm just gonna do it manually. So let's say you wanted to merge them together. So we're merging it at center. And so that would now become a full mesh together because it's merged. But since it's not merged, normally like this, when it's not merged, you can move them. So that's when you want to join meshes together so that you can edit them easier, but also don't want to use them in certain parts when you're editing, like for a shape key.
Do you want to eventually merge them, though?
Yes. Sometimes. It really depends. It depends on if you want to edit it more, or if you just want them to be fully merged. Sometimes they look better when they're not merged, though. So let's mess with this a little bit. Move it back more.
I had another question, but I don't remember what it was.
Think hard.
Use that branular of yours, buddy.
I don't feel like it.
Well, get bent then.
I'm gonna go into matcap real quick, because that's a little easier with certain...
I remember. How do you make two different parts of a mesh have separate materials?
Elaborate?
Like, are they just not part of the same mesh, or?
What do you mean?
Like, how to make the eyes and the face have a different color, you know what I
Oh, that's what you're asking. Okay. So,
mean? Yeah.
first off, usually what we have to do is... Give me a second. I'll show you how to do this. I'm going to quickly make a little, like, test texture, which I usually do for this kind of thing, when I want to see if it looks good or not so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to add any of the details onto it. Like, I'm just going to put the basic coloring, like the squares of color. So I'll show you, so just in the meantime, real quick, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to go, wrong one. I'm going to show you YN again. They have messier textures because it's an edit of a different one, but, so let's see. So we go into UV editor. This is what a usual texture sheet looks like. This isn't my best work. Here, I'll show you. Here, Jasper's pretty good. So this one, the fact he's bald. Ignore the fact he's bald. So,
So that entire, like, picture with things on it, that's like
a texture sheet.
Okay, and that is, like, that's what the material is, yeah?
Yeah, yes, that is a material. I usually use all one material for certain parts, except for, like, maybe clothing or props. So what you have to do is, that's where mark seams becomes really interesting. So I have these marked because I had to move individual parts to line up the scarring. So I select these parts, and I'm able to move them, from, like that.
Wait.
So,
I see when you select stuff on the edit menu, it shows up in the UV editing
Mhm.
part.
That's what these are, UVs. Also, another
Oh.
thing, this is very useful. If you click, I don't know if you can see this actually, hold up. Let me make sure that it's showing on stream. Okay, it is. If you click on export UV, it will export the UV and you'll be able to import it into an art program, which makes it so much easier to line up textures.
Oh, I suck at art. This
There-
part's gonna be great because I suck at art.
It's a little easier when you start as an artist, but literally anyone can technically do it because it's just coloring it. You just kind of mess with it until it looks good. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. My throat hurts.
I look at it and you have like the skin texture coloring the entire like sheet of that section, and then you just paint on the little blobs that you want.
And for this, for hair, personally, I usually use a simple gradient for certain parts of it, because all I have to do is, I select it all, and then I put, so, just real quick, I'm gonna mess up all of this, because I already uploaded it. I can just be like, oh, I just don't save it kind of
You
stuff.
can destroy everything
Yeah.
now.
So I'm
It's
gonna grab this, and I'm gonna grab all of the parts that are facing the same way, and I'm going to shrink them down. I'm gonna squeeze them, and then I'm gonna move this, and then I'm gonna grab all of the parts that aren't, and I'm going to make them face the same way. Oh, hold up, give me a second. I accidentally. There we go.
Okay then, I have a question. All those parts you grabbed on the model, are those are those joined or merged?
So none of these are merged together. In fact, I can select them all separately.
Are they all just joined? Like, can you, or are they not even joined? Are they? Just
They are
loose
joined.
objects?
They are all in the
Okay.
same, but as meshes, they are not merged together because it makes it a lot easier to edit like this. So let me I'm gonna flip this, and then I'm going to quickly go here, and I'm going to make them all face the same way. It doesn't have to be perfect, I will say. Just make sure that they're all relatively facing the same way, as in down, like downward. So for this, so you see how this is like really boring. This is very basic. So what I do is I take this, I press Alt, and I click the faces that I want, and then I make sure to select these little parts that are unselected, and I push them downward, like this, and then it will create a sort of like texture with it.
Oh, it'll
See?
make like a highlight kind of thing.
Isn't that neat?
Because, oh, that's really cool.
So I'm not going to save this because I don't like the way
Man,
that
I'm
it looks, and I don't have to do that.
gonna
again.
have to come back and watch this later now. So
Speaking of which, you
can have,
reminded me
like-
to pause recording real quick. There we go. Oh, hold up. I gotta go into mod chat because there's a weird fucking person in here.
What's wrong?
There's a weird there's a bot in chat that's like, oh, gotta eat your viewers. Weird chat.
What?
It's weird. Twitch is a weird place. Oh, this is mod. Okay, let me just...
Wow, I love Twitch. They made it so you can't see the chat on Xbox anymore. Now you have to scan a QR code with your phone.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
They somehow get scummier with each go around.
Bro.
And again,
Oh, and they completely changed the mobile app as well. So it's gonna be like impossible for me to find the stream without just... Oh, there it is.
yeah. You have to scroll to like enter the stream.
Bruh.
Which is miserable.
I wish I could.
is
I wish I could
miserable.
like stream on YouTube, but you have to like have a shit ton of subscribers to stream.
Oh, that's cringe.
Yeah,
That's
I think you have to
What-
have.
what is
Hold up.
this?
Give me a second. How many do you
Well,
have
what-
to have? Go on.
What is this you currently see? Where it's like the blue on the left side, the pink on the right side? What is that? Why is it like that? Why does
oh.
it have that gradient all over it?
So I'm using matte cap, which helps me to see things a little easier, but you can like choose between different like matte caps. It will not look like this on VR chat. This is just for Blender. It's weird. I don't know. You can either go into
Is it
Studio,
just like a lighting test thing?
basically. You can go to Studio,
Okay.
which is the basics, and then you can go to Matte Cap, and then you can go to Flat, which will show you what it will look like in VRChat majority of the time for TuneLit. Hold up, I gotta fix this real quick because that's messing with me. So I'm going to fix the little part for the lip sync.
I do have to say the multicolored one is really good for like spotting differences.
Yeah, that's why I use it.
Yeah.
Hold up, I'm gonna. Oh, hold on. Speaking of which.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm
There's
gonna
an
quickly make the texture for this goober real quick because I have to find their actual texture, as in their actual colors. Excuse me, their actual colors for their ref. So let me grab that real quick. Excuse me, I'm
We
so
can
sorry.
never forget about
So-
the colors.
When you're making the actual like texture sheet, I assume you use like the color palette that's in the ref then, and then
Here.
you like modify it from there to make it look good in VRChat.
I'll show you. Give me a second. Let me put Clip Studio on the screen instead. So we go here. So this is the ref of the character. Well, there's another ref. Give me a second. Let me grab it. There's another ref that is this one.
Wait, no, you just can't type on Xbox. Okay.
Oh.
Let's go here, and then I'm
Even
just going to add the yellow
Type on Xbox.
and the black. Anything else I need to add? No. Okay. Excuse me. So this is just going to be the basic textures. Another thing for organization's sake. Let me go here. Just make a folder, label it textures. You probably can't see that on the stream. You cannot. Okay. I don't know how to share that. But like when you're
don't worry about
exporting
it.
you just make a folder specifically for textures. It makes it a lot easier. And it makes it a lot easier when putting in Unity because then you'll have the textures in one place rather than having to cipher through a bunch of shit. Also, for me personally, I usually make sure that the textures are anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 pixels because it makes it higher quality. The bigger the texture, the higher the quality it is.
And the more VRChat will complain about it.
Basically, you just have to be careful with it. That's why my usual middle ground is 5,000. And then also to see the textures while in viewpoint shading, aka the one that's right next to wireframe, you click on this, you go to texture, and oh my goodness, because it's on transparent background, that's why it disappeared. So also the way that I do it is I project from view. This won't always work. You will have to mess with it a bit, but
I still see the paint thing.
Oh, 1 second. Give me a second. Ooh. I forgot to close that. There we go.
Oh god.
So
that is so tricky.
So let me show you. So the reason why so what you do is you go up here, you go from material to texture. And then since it's on a transparent background, that's why it's see-through. What I do is I go to UV editing, I go to UV, and I go to project from view, and it will show the UV maps based off of the viewpoint. You can do it differently. You can actually let's say you wanted to unwrap it like this. You just select this and then you click unwrap, and it'll look like this. It depends on your texturing type and what exactly details you're using, but usually I use project from view because it is simple enough to do it like that. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to make sure to put this to texture real quick. So this is what it looks like in Studio. It will look different in Matte Cap and not Matte Cap. It will look different in Flat. Just give me a second. Let me move this. Put it on the black spot. The eyes are yellow, so let me put that there. And then I'm going to go to the open spot, and I'm going to quickly just project from view.
So
this,
when you put that face on the white part, is that the entire head?
Yes, that is the entire head until I separate it into different parts. And then it
And you did that with project from view?
Yes.
It's not just the face, it's the entire head for some reason.
Yes, it is all of the faces, that's why.
Why?
Because I selected all of them, but if you were to select this part and then just press project from view, it will project that from view.
Oh, okay.
So let's say
project from
you wanted the
view
eyes
just
to be different.
puts what you selected, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So when
thought
I-
it was everything you're looking at because that's what the name says.
Project from view usually means, so what it means is that when you select that, it will project what the UV looks like depending on where you're looking. Like, let's say you want to project it from here. It would look like this. You want to project it from here. It will look like this. And so if you want to project it from facing, it'll look like that.
So, it only matters what direction it looks like when you put it in, when you hit project from view, if you have everything selected?
Yes. So this, it makes it a lot easier though.
Yeah, definitely. It's just a little confusing.
Blender is confusing. So
Oh,
this
I
is
know
what it
Blender's
looks like in
confusing.
material. This is what it will look like on VR chat if you put Toonlet. So let's say you use standard shaders. This is what it will look like. Versus Toonlet, standard, Toonlet, standard, Toonlet.
Oh god.
How do you switch between them?
So you go up here, the little drop down, and then you click on under lighting. It's either studio, matte cap, or flat. And for Unity, you have to go into the material. Here, let me.
And change the shader.
Yes.
Okay, so Studio is standard, and then which one is Toonlit?
Flat. Flat is Toonlit.
Okay. Is Toonlit not on Quest, or
Toonlit is on Quest. It's the default.
is that the like standard? Oh god.
Standard light
No,
isn't what
yeah,
it looks
no,
like.
no.
Toonlit
I think I know what you're talking
isn't
about
here.
now.
Here, let me show
You go to VR chat, you go to mobile, and then there's one that just says Toonlit, right?
Yes, that's what a majority
Okay.
of my avatars are. I can show you an example of them. Let me grab Clip Studio. Let me open one of the avatar pictures that I have. Because there is a world that you can go to where you can display your avatars and it will put it in like a neat little display thing. I'll show you in a minute. Here's a good example. Ollie. This one. This is what my avatars look like with Toonlit, usually.
Huh?
Oh, you can't see it because you're not on the Twitch stream.
Yeah.
I might as well just show my full screen for you. Hold up. Forgot to turn off this system audio. There we go.
Oh.
So this is what it looks like with Toon shaders. I can also grab a picture of just a normal VR chat moment.
Toon shaders just kind of make it like fully lit up, yeah? Okay.
It makes it smoother. Excuse me. Water. Oh right, I have to close this.
Yeah,
There we go.
Water.
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 Oh, I feel like a dying Victorian child. So let's get back to this. So I'm gonna pause on the face real quick. Just gonna pause on it. Oh my god, I need to go back to studio. And I'm gonna show you how to make hair. I will say this is gonna be difficult for me because this is a type of hair that I have not done fully before, so it might be annoying. But I'm using a curve tool. A curve tool is kind of hard to get at first. Usually it's like very confusing. So you just grab the curve tool and you move it, you shrink it to however much you want, and then you go to edit mode and you move it to be the way you want it to be. The curve tool is really annoying. I will say that. It is super annoying, but is the best way to do hair in like an easier way, surprisingly. So what you want to do is you'll shape it like this.
Oh god.
And so you
I
go
see it
to
now. You just have that line, and it has a curve in between it, and then
you go to
Ugh.
data, and then you go to geometry. This top part will only extrude with like the small like thin face, but this will bevel it, aka it will make it round. The annoying part is that depending on what angle you're going, so let's say let me move something real quick. Like let's say you move this, it will make it look a little different, and then when you move this, it will push the side.
Ooh.
It's really, really
Oh,
annoying to figure out. And you will have to edit it occasionally.
I'm sure there's other ways to do hair than that, right?
I mean, you could just use the cube and then edit it
Okay.
to that. You could also use a sphere. I would not recommend that one though. Like you can do all
Spheres
stuff,
are
but this
miserable.
makes it a lot easier technically. So you gotta kind of have to suck it up sometimes if you want to do it a little better. Not better, but easier. If you want to look nice in some instances, so we could do this. The annoying part is if you want the hair to be flat. That's the only like difficult part.
God, spheres are misery. I can say, as someone who has literally only ever made anything out of spheres, they are horrifying.
And they're super fucking high poly and almost impossible to actually, like, what's the term? Fuck, it's leaving me. Cooper, please help. Help,
What?
Cooper, help.
For
What does
what?
it mean? When you take polygon down on Avatar, optimize. When you want to optimize
Yeah.
an avatar.
Oh my God, yeah.
I
You
hate
wanna start
Dude,
with an
okay,
optimize,
I'm gonna be
not
so
try to,
real
like,
with you.
Decimate or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna be so real with you. VR chat optimization is not our fault, it's their fault. They literally do not optimize their game. They're fucking spaghetti code. I'm gonna be so real with you. They're ass. Like, they are so fucking lazy. I am sorry. They make their whole community do everything for them because they're lazy asses who want to make money off of them. I'm gonna be so real.
It's a fun game.
It's a fun game, but Jesus Christ, do they not know how to fucking make a game?
Good lord.
Don't get me started on the moderation, like, drama bullshit. Cause not moderation, the fucking like the mod, like the mods drama, aka mods that were added to VR chat that they now banned by using easy anti-cheat, where they literally ripped the assets from the modders and tried to pass it on as their own just because they were using their game.
Oh, you mean the update that made it so every time I try to open it on my computer it blue screens?
Oh my god, EAC is so fucking stupid. You have to open it like through Steam itself or whatever like app you're using
I
to like
tried
download
to do
it.
that.
Yeah, it is so stupid. I hate easy anti-cheat because it literally screwed over so many fucking creators.
Jesus, what?
Dude, you're just putting noodles on this guy's face.
You'll see in a second. That's how I did the hair on the other one too.
Using the curve tool.
You just have to mess with it for a bit until you actually get something right.
It looks like such a pain, not gonna lie.
And you have to like decimate some of it occasionally in order to like put the polygon count down. Cause see this little 4, that dictates how many polygons it will be on it usually. Let me do fill caps real quick.
I feel like I'd rather manually make like hair. Maybe not like some this was definitely good for some styles, but for the exact thing I'm imagining, I feel like just cubing it would be easier.
It really depends on the type of model you're doing. For right now, for this type of model, this is exactly what I am supposed to be doing. This is what it will make it look the best. Also, it's the easiest for this type of thing. Cause oh my god, am I not gonna use a fucking cube for this? I'm sorry.
No, I was like, I was thinking like, how would this work for like beards? Yeah, and then I'm just like, put a cube over the chin and then sculpt the cube to look beard shaped.
Oh,
You know what I
God.
mean?
Good luck on that one.
Well, that's harder to do.
Yeah, I mean,
Then
the
making
closest.
every single strand of beard hair.
I mean, technically, okay, so for a beard, I'm just going to do this as an example. So edit mode, instead of just grabbing it by normally, just go to edit mode, click on here, click on mirror tool, go here, do this, move up, go forward, go here, do that, kind of just do this. Okay, mess with this a little bit, make it a little thicker. Depending
Actually,
on
I
what
see what you started doing. Yeah, that probably would look good.
This.
Oh my god.
Kind of mess with it a little bit. I'm gonna make it smaller. real quick.
A beard would actually be a crazy toggle for this avatar.
They would not like it. This is just an example to like show like a beard technically. You'd also have to like mess with it a little bit to like you'd have to add like texture on the face so that it like blends in seamlessly, but it is doable. Cause I've done it before, not to like a big old beard extent. I've done it for one of my characters, Ricky, who's a Hellborn spider. Not Hellborn, he's a sinner. I'll show him to you later. Well, in a second. Do this.
Exciting.
And then just kind of mess around.
Man, I'm already getting so many ideas now that I just kind of know how to do stuff way better. Then make a sphere, UV sphere specifically, sculpt it, and then remesh it.
But yeah, like here's like an idea for a beard. It's not perfect, obviously. It'll look better like once it's flat. Hold up. So if you want to see it like kind of push into the mesh, give me a second. Then go to diffuse color. See. But yeah, because I've done it before with like 1 or 2 characters. I'll have to grab them real quick. Give me a second. Save, open. I'm gonna have to scroll through a bunch of files. Give me a second. Excuse me. Rick. Oh, Rick. Okay, he's not in here. Give me a second. I'm just gonna go into my normal files and grab the file to drag in. Dragon.
These nuts on your foot.
Cooper! You're streaming!
It's
That
not
was so
that
random.
bad. Yes, it was.
If that's so bad, why would you say something like that, Coop?
Exactly.
Yeah, lecture
If it
him.
wasn't
Lecture
bad
him,
enough
buddy.
for my brain to recognize it, it probably wasn't that bad.
That's because
It
you
was a
spent
These
prolonged
Nuts
amounts
joke.
of time with me.
Yeah.
Like, Arbiter, that is exactly what it is.
It's brain rot.
I mean,
My brain is
also not-
routed in ways you couldn't imagine.
I found it.
That's
Okay,
just
let me
positive,
drag
though.
him in here. Here he is. Ricky, my boy.
Oh,
Hold up. Here's Ricky. I gave you
Gotta
like
wait
a
for
small
the stream
beard.
to catch up before I can see him.
Yeah. Ugh. Twitch delay.
they look so cool though.
Bro, what is
Yeah,
happening?
Oh.
The bots are coming
Okay,
for
I
me.
see what you did.
My dude is not having a grandiose time.
He really isn't.
But yeah, here's the goober Ricky with his like little beard. Hold up, let me go into studio to show you what it looks like. It's rather normal.
Weird horns.
Horns? He doesn't
We
have
love
horns. He is spider.
Ricky
Oh god,
is-
huh. God damn it, it did it again. God damn it. God damn it. Hold up. I forgot how to fix this. Give me a second. It chooses violence sometimes. Oh my god.
uses
Hold up.
own-
Whoops, wrong one. I know I have to. Ugh, give me a second. I hate it when it does this.
What is weighing down? It could be my 3 books.
What are you talking about?
What?
My dude, his bones are currently on fire, and he has the weight of Zeus on him,
Where
apparently.
is it?
Yeah. Bro,
What's
straight up
crazy?
zomboiding it.
Arbiter
Yeah.
would know why.
You probably have a spare tank of water you're carrying on your back, like one of those office coolers.
No, you
You-
need to check my screen.
Oh no, you're
it's doing
streaming.
it
Hold
again.
on.
God damn it. Ugh.
Alright. I
Hold on.
can't see it.
Give me a second.
It's exercise fatigue.
Ugh, technical difficulties. 1 second.
Technical difficulties,
I hate it when
everything's on
Blender chooses
fire.
violence. Oh god. I don't know if my voice can handle anymore.
Oh,
Drink more water.
baby.
Ugh. Man, I don't know why.
Make tea with honey in it.
I should make some tea real quick. Oh, that'd be so nice.
Good job.
Ugh.
Jasmine tea. Let me throw my jasmine tea at
Okay,
you.
I fixed it. It's being stupid. Okay. So, would you mind if that concludes for our lesson for today? And then we can like pick it up
Yeah.
later? Because like this is like just the basics real quick. I needed pause from
I'm
this
fine with
commission.
that.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
I'm probably not gonna capitalize on this anytime soon, because man, my computer sucks, and I'd rather be playing Minecraft on it than working.
I
But
am placing blocks and shit cause I'm in
'Cause I'm
fucking
in
Minecraft. I am placing blocks and
Oh,
shit
and
cause
now I
I'm
realized
in
I.
fucking Minecraft.
Oh no.
Excuse me. Ugh.
I fucked up. I
Alright.
fucked up.
what'd you do?
Well, that concludes our
fucked
lesson
up.
for today. Cooper, stop dying for 5
Yeah.
seconds. 1 second.
I fucked up.
Cooper! That concludes our lesson for today. See you, Sprouts. This recording
Bye,
is over.
Sprout.
Y'all want to say
Cool.
goodbye, Sprouts?
I have
Bye,
questions
Sprout.
about things that aren't VR chat. So
Oh?
Oh?
how does